Hello friends and enemies, welcome to or back to Happy For Now. It's me, Isabel, here with everything I read in February. It was not as heavy of a reading month as January, which, listen, I was gone for a week. It's a couple days shorter. This kind of tracks. But I still read a lot and I'm still very ahead on my reading goal for the year. So apparently taking the pressure off has just made me read more. I don't know what's happening, but we're here and it's happening. So, of course, we're going to talk about my stats, and then I'll talk to you about every single book I've read so far this month in order that I read it, and my thoughts and feelings on it. So yeah, let's talk about those stats. I read 10 books. I DNF'd 5. My page count was 3,627 pages, which I'm happy with. I, of course, would have liked to have read more than 10 books, but I'm also thrilled that I DNF'd 5 things. I have DNF'd more in the last 2 months, I think, than I have in the last, 2 years, at least. At least I'm tracking it, we'll say. Then I have, my average rating was a 4.3, which I think is fantastic. DNFing definitely brings that number up. I listened to 47 and a half hours of audio. Not as much as last month. Not a surprise again. Just been busy. I read everything I read was an adult title, so there's that. Format-wise, I read 7 ebooks and 3 audiobooks. I wish it was more. I kind of wish I'd listened more, but I just really was not in the mood for audiobooks this month, it seems. And that's okay, because again, we still read 10 books, which is a win. So let's talk about all of those books I read. First up, I listened to Lust and Lollipops by Lola Glass. This is the first one in her Fated something or other series. Survival of the Fated? Or Mated? It's something like that. This audiobook series is coming out one a month right now, and I've been getting it through my iLibrary app. So I listened to book 1, I got it right as it came out at the end of the month, and I just got book 2 in. These are very silly Survivor Bachelorette novellas, okay? I enjoy Lola Glass for exactly what she is, which is quick, fun, silly reads. They're nothing groundbreaking, okay? You're not going to get, something that is, different than other things you might have read before. Although I will say this series I felt like was very different from other ones I've read because our heroine is single, of course, and has been protected by this guard that is a fae. And she gets taken away to go join this dating show. She thinks she's going to be on a Love Island type show. No. She gets dropped on an island with a bunch of fae men. And they have to woo her via survival. And lo and behold, but her bodyguard shows up. And that was a fun time, in my opinion. I liked the intrigue and the, scheming with each other element of this a lot. I thought that worked really well. I thought it was just a fun and silly setup. Yes. If you're going to give me a silly setup with, paranormal beings, this is exactly what I want. So, I had a fun time with that. I thought it was really cute and silly. I gave it, a 3.5, 4 stars, somewhere in there. I guess 3.75. If you could, I don't think my spreadsheet has those, but somewhere in that. I just had a fun time. It was a quick listen one day while I was doing some things around the house. Next, in my effort to finish series this year and get current on ongoing series, I did finish 2 series this month, and one of them was The Vancouver Storm by Stephanie Archer with the Wild Card. This is the finale in this series, and it was so good. It was so good. I really love the Vancouver Storm series. I think this is one of those standout hockey romance series for me. I like that it's only 5 books also. I think that's nice. I think that's accessible as far as someone who struggles to finish series. This was an absolute blast. So Jordan owns the bar. She does not allow any hockey on the TVs and stuff. It's really funny. The team loves to go there. We've been seeing her every book. And Tate is the head coach of the team. And while her dad is debating selling the team, and thus she decides to join the organization to help him not sell the team, basically, if they can win a championship. It's a whole thing. It's a very hockey romance setup, and it was so fun. I think that Tate and Jordan were such a fun pairing for each other. I also thought it was really healing, some of the dad issues that were handled in this book with Jordan and her dad. They confront a lot of things around the loss of her mother, so do you know that there's some daddy issue discussion here and healing of those issues though. So that was really fun, and I liked that element a lot, but that may not be for everyone. And yeah, I think this was a fantastic conclusion. I was happy with how it ended. We do have, I assume we're gonna get a spin-off series. We have to, right? But I really enjoyed these. These were very, very fun. and just a delight. I have not read Stephanie Archer's just like contemporary romances, but her hockey set ones I think are some of my favorites. Then I read Perfect Scent Match by Emily Antoinette. This was an arc I got from the author for this new release. This is a holiday novella set around Valentine's Day, and it is a throuple pairing. We have an alpha and 2 omegas, and it is so fun. We have a chubby heroine who is just fan-freaking-tastic, okay? It is a very sex-forward and positive book. It is positive about sex work as well, and just, it does so much in so little time, and I really, really like Emily Antoinette's omegaverse, and I'm very excited for more from her at the end of the day, because they have just hit a scratch I didn't know I had, and I'm like, these are exactly what I want. The wild card was a 5-star, and this was also like a 5-star, 4.5. It's a novella, so it's hard to be like, this is my favorite of all time, but I really, really loved it. Then I read Automatic Noodle by Anna Lee Newitz. I didn't love this book. A lot of people love this book. I gave it a 3. I felt like it was smashing me over the head a little bit too much with the attempts at analogy in a way that I was like, yeah, I get it. This book is about like immigrant rights and like not judging people, but we put robots in the place of actual immigrants. And I was just like, I don't know that you are the person I want telling me this story, and I don't know that this is the story, like the full takeaway. I just didn't love it. I think it was like just perfectly okay. So there's that. I also just didn't find it that cozy, to be honest with you, at all. Then, again, the other series I finished this month is Her Monstrous Beast by E.P. Bali. This is a 5-book Why Choose Romance series that is fantastic. I love it. I think it's really, really fun. I think it's a really engaging read if you are into Why Choose Romances with a little bit of angst. This follows basically our heroine who was born as a thing that has like never been seen before, right? And her 5 mates like getting to know each other. Book 5 suffered slightly in the fact that I do not feel like we got enough time with that pairing, and it was more wrapping up all of the story, but it wrapped up positively. I was stressed as could be to get through it, but also really, really happy at the end of the day where I landed once I finished it. So there's that. It was another like 5-star, 4.5. I think I gave 4.5 because I just wanted a little more time with the couple, like with that part of the pairing. But the way we wrapped everything up, perfection for me. I was very, very, very pleased with how everything wrapped up and was handled for the most part. Then I read A Pack for Spring by Amelia Emerson. This is a book 3 in the Cozyverse that is written by her and Alana Lee. I got an arc of it and I was like, oh, I can read it now because it would count for Herkyed, so I did, because it's like 60 days forward or back you can read a book. So I was like, sweet, we can read it now. So dove into this, read it in so fast, so fast. I really liked this. I actually liked this more than her first book in the series, which is A Pack for Autumn. I thought A Pack for Autumn it suffered a little. I didn't love it as much as I liked A Pack for Winter, and I think A Pack for Spring was better and an improvement on the issues I had in A Pack for Autumn. It didn't feel as much as like we were just boning constantly. Like it felt like there was plot and movement forward in the plot, and that the sex was like serving the story, not just being inserted to have more sex scenes in the book. I hope that makes sense. I give this like a 4.5. I really liked it. I really enjoyed this series. I think it's very fun. It's a good time. Then I read Long Live Evil by Sarah Reese Brennan. This is a members book club pick, so they got a blog for that. And that ending reveal made me almost immediately restart the book and reread it all again. But instead I'm waiting because we get the next book later this year. We don't know how long this series is. It's question mark from the author. She's not shared. But because of that, I am excited to revisit book 1 and read book 2 when it comes out this summer. I think May. I might be wrong though. This is a portal fantasy. I will warn you now. The beginning is very heavy on cancer because our heroine has cancer before she is transported to this book world that her sister is obsessed with and has been reading her the story of. And lo and behold, she is like the sexy villainess character kind of. And it's like taking control of the story and editing the story so that she survives. So it was really fun. I thought it was really enjoyable and very different. Long Live Evil, easily like 5 stars. Then I picked up Consider Me by Becca Mack because, well, in between screaming about things and like just being annoyed, I was like, you know, my hockey romances by certain authors won't betray me the way I feel right now about other things. So, and my women's hockey, my PWHL girlies, they for the most part, have my back as far as not being shitty. There's a handful of them. But anyways, beyond the point, I picked up Consider Me because I was like, you know, my fictional hockey boys will not do me wrong. So I feel a fictional hockey romance. So I picked this up, ended up devouring like 60% of it in a day, not trying to. And really, really loved this book, honestly. I think it surprised me. It's pretty angsty, but not too angsty. There is some grief in here. I do want to give that heads up. Our character lost his dad, our hero. He is a playboy, so if that's not your thing, you may not like this, but he like completely pivots and changes his ways for her, and very quickly upon meeting her, which I thought was really fascinating to read. But also, I will say, the third act made me mad. Not because I felt he did something wrong. I knew there was more to the story, right? But I felt like he opted out of communicating with her and instead like hid a way to fix the problem. Which I understand the impulse. Like, I don't think it was a bad impulse. It annoyed me at the end of the day. So I was just like, is this really what we had to do? So yeah, there's that. But I'm intrigued enough that I do want to pick up book 2 at some point. And I probably will sooner than later. But don't be surprised if you see me read this entire series in the next like 2 months. It could happen. I'm just not sure if it will or won't. But there's a likelihood. I own quite a few of them on audio. So I could, you know. I gave this easily like a 4-star. It would have been a 5-star without the third act situation. So I'm curious about like some of the other ones more later. Then I read Beast Business by Alana Andrews. There's a whole live show over on Steph at Novelty Corners channel where we talk about this book. I loved this. The first 60% of this is Diana and Augustine's story. And then we get a POV from Arabella, and then we get some side stories that were on the blog, if you haven't read them. This was so good. I don't want to tell you a ton. This is book 6.5, 7, whatever, in the Hidden Legacy series. This is like, I need another one with this couple, is what I will tell you right now. I don't know if we will. I don't know that we'll ever get more Hidden Legacy. I want more Hidden Legacy. I do feel it is a completed story, but I would sob to get another Hidden Legacy trilogy, okay? Again, Arabella's got to get older. There's some things that have to happen here as far as that for that to happen. So I understand why we don't have it, but I would die. I think I would lay down on the ground and sob if we got that announcement. But Beast Business follows Diana and Augustine on a hunt for a tiger being situation that got kidnapped, and there's a lot we learn here, which I think was my favorite part of this, about the different kinds of magic between Augustine's illusions, Diana's animal magic, and then animators, the animator magic. We learned a lot here that I did not know before in any capacity. Like, you knew, you had ideas, but it went further than you may suspect when you do read this book. So I loved that. It was fantastic. And last but not least, the last book I read this month is Paved in Blood by Sonia Gray. This is part of my reading all my maybes from Try Chapters last year. So that vlog's almost done. We're getting so close. I picked this up like, I'm going to DNF this. I'm going to DNF it. No, I looked down and I'd read 40%. This is a textbook Bratva Mafia romance, okay? I feel weird about reading Bratva. I do right now. Also, don't get me wrong. But I was like, this is like from 2023. So like, I feel less weird about it. And it's not in Russia or anything. Like, they've come to the States and they're working with like taking down the sex trafficking ring and finding his sister who's been kidnapped for like a year. And our heroine is the mayor's daughter and a virgin, of course. And it is just a silly, goofy time because it is so stereotypical textbook mafia romance in a way that I'm like, this is funny. This is amusing. Like, for me, I'm not saying that this is good because I'm giving it a 3 star. So it's not necessarily good. I'm not saying also that I wouldn't read more in this series, okay? But they are 100% exactly what they say they are. And sometimes, like, especially after some of the hits I had this month, I needed a book that was just kind of like going to be that, right? It was going to be a good time, a silly time, but not like an all-time favorite and not something for me to take like overly serious. So I had a blast reading it. It had its problems, but for the most part, I was giggling my way through this book because I was just like, this is so silly and such a silly setup and exactly what I needed in the moment. So those are the 10 books I read this month. Don't worry, in April, you'll get my DNFs. We'll be doing quarterly DNF check-ins, so get excited. I'm excited because I have a lot of DNFs already, and I don't see that slowing down anytime soon. So yeah, that was the last thing I read this month. I have quite a few books that I'm almost done with going into March. So we're definitely going to see a little uptick in March already, like early March, because I'll have finished some things. If you want every single book I DNF and all that good jazz, it is in my Instagram highlights though. So have at. Otherwise, I think that's it. Yeah, that's everything. If you had any highs or lows in March that you want to share with me, please tell me about them in the comments, or any of these that you're now going to pick up, let me know. If you don't do any of that, you can leave me a sunshine emoji, because I may be in a sweatshirt, but it is like hot outside today, so that has been fantastic. I will have links to everything down below for you, as well as links to my friend anywhere on the internet that I am, and I will talk to y'all in just a few days. Bye.
Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions, we'll get away. This is what we waited for.